ਥੱਲੇ ਉਹ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਇੰਨੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਵੀ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ, ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰ। ਉਹਨੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਹੋਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨਾ। 10 ਤੇ ਕਰ, 10 ਤੇ ਕਰ। ਹਾਂ 2600 ਹੁਣ 100 ਤੇ ਕਰ, 100 ਤੇ ਕਰ।
100 ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏ।
ਚੈੱਕ ਤੇ ਕਰੀਏ ਨਾ। ਹਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ
26000
ਥੱਲੇ ਕਰ, ਥੱਲੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ।
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਡਿਊਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਟਾਈਮਿੰਗ।
ਜਿਹਨੇ ਭਾਈ ਐਡ ਬਣਾਈ ਆ ਨਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਐਵੇਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ, ਉਹਨੇ ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਦੇਖ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫਾਇਦਾ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ।
ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕਰਨੇ ਪੈਂਦੇ।
ਕਿੰਨੇ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ?
640।
ਹੈਂ
640
ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਹੋਏ 600? मैं लाइव चलाई दी है।
ये बड़ा अहम मौजूद है और ये जो बड़ी अहम डेवलपमेंट है, एक नया नोटिफिकेशन हमने इशू किया है, जिसके बाद सहूलत ये पैदा हो गई है कि पहले मामला इस तरह से था कि अगर किसी शख्स की 2 या 3 सूबों में जायदाद है तो हर सूबे में कायम नादरा के जो मुख्तस मराकज़ हैं सक्सेशन सर्टिफिकेट के हसूल के लिए, हम उसे SFU कहते हैं, सक्सेशन फैसिलिटेशन यूनिट।
रोटी तो बड़ी तेज है। रोटी रख दे, रोटी नहीं चाहिए। ਵਧੇ ਆ ਨਾ 600 400
640।
ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਆ
ਭਰਾਵਾ ਸੁਣੇਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਵਧਣਗੇ ਨਾ। ਕਿਦਾਂ ਲਗਾਤੀ ਉਹ ਮਹਾ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਲੱਭੀ ਸੀ ਜਾ ਯਾਰ।
ਅੱਠੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਥੱਲੇ ਲਿਆਉਣੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਚ ਪਈ ਸੀ ਹੈ। ਕੱਟ ਦੇ ਨੇ ਥੱਲੇ
ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਨੇ। ਖਲੋ
Listen to Hardbell, cookie puss like Carvel, bulletproof like who get A12 Marvel, Bohemian Grove, give me Lohemian code, under the table sailor reptilian stone, sharp purple pill, word to spill, murder kill, burn your face, burger grill, meatloaf head, Gucci cokeheads, I'm Lopez, wanna be Scarface operated, another Scarface incarcerated, he said you two, bro. Had a two fro. Look like Tony Kukoc. High glucose and blood sugar, drug boogers, troubleshooters, double Grey Goose, trade juice in the bubble goose, 100 proof. Who the fuck are you? Came through with a Brooklyn face. Jordan's on his feet in the Brooklyn taste. Blew a hole in the wall and took the safe. Got knocked out of nose, shot him through the case. Then knocked the kid, cause after surgery he looked the same. Easy to tell. Fuck with me, I'ma see you in hell. So I'm fucking with the boat. Uncrushable. Ain't no stopping, unstoppable. Easy to tell. Fuck with me, I'ma see you in hell. So I'm fucking with the boat. Uncrushable. Ain't no stopping, unstoppable. Yo, Bill, I got this. Snow booms. Sick nature. Yo, let me at him. Yo, they tell him break a leg. When you fall off on the wrong foot and go stumble towards the coffin and cough in the wrong hook. Losing his numero, son of his crucible. While the industrial was wrong.
ਦੋ ਲਿਆਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ
ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਾਂਗੇ
Personality, sniper strike, let it fast for the lifeless. The newest fancy gadgets, you use the tracking devices, they be sniffing your route. When you chill on the couch, they planting shit in your house, claiming that you dipping your snout. But the law point fingers from the villains is out. Every third page, using bricks when building his house. The wrong world, my body safe, and accidents happen global. From the fucking Titanic to the factories in Chernobyl. Keep standing firm, keep turning it louder. Keep banging your head so your cranium's turning to powder. He's uncrushable. Easy to tell. Fuck with me, I'ma see you in hell. So I'm fuck with the boat. Uncrushable. Ain't no stopping, unstoppable. Easy to tell. Fuck with me, I'ma see you in hell. So I'm fuck with the boat. Uncrushable. Ain't no stopping, unstoppable. I do dirt and wash my hands with the water of Satan. Reverse the roles, immerse the soul, see the God in its making. Shaking exorcism, mathematics, science, and patience. Awaiting death while life lives in alignment with pagans. Creating off seeds we all believe in.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What's that crackling sound? Is it a fire? So, what has it got to do with today's topic? Well, stay tuned to find out. So today we're going to find out how to elevate our argumentative and discursive writing using literary device for impactful introductions and conclusion. And how you plan to do so is through fire. Okay, to be honest, it's just literary device. So our objective is to understand how to integrate literary devices in our introduction and conclusions for today, apply these techniques to strengthen our argumentation as well as persuasion in essays, as well as enhance coherence by using recurring thematic metaphors and similes, which actually refer to similar concepts, so that we can enhance the idea of coherence. So question here is, why use literary device? It is to captivate the reader from the introduction. Next, we reinforce key ideas with imagery and comparison. Next, create memorable and sophisticated arguments. And last but not least, enhance coherence when the same metaphor or simile recurs throughout the essays. So that will create the idea of coherence. When you have similar concepts occurring in similar yet different form. So there are actually a number of key literary devices that we use for argumentative or discursive writing. These are not limited to what we are showing here, and you can be sure that these are the more famous ones. So you have the metaphor, which is direct comparison to create imagery, such as you are a fox, which means they have a negative connotation of being cunning. Next, we have simile, or you are like a saint, which means that you have excellent quality where you have perhaps being kind or perhaps being responsible for the well-being of others. So in this case, you have a direct comparison which creates imagery using the word like or as. Next, we have extended metaphor, which is a sustained metaphor usage throughout the essay, such as perhaps if you're saying you're like a fox, perhaps you will be set traps, or perhaps you rely on the strength of others. So the idea of what fox does to be cunning. So we use similar words along the line, or perhaps thrown on others. Next, we have personification, which is giving a human quality to an abstract idea. We give a quality such as the tree sway in the wind. When tree definitely can't sway like human, but when it sway, it sounds like a form of dancing. So it's giving a quality to the tree under the influence of the wind. Next, we have juxtaposition, which is contrasting two ideas. We see a lot of them in the social media, where we contrast ideas for emphasis. So we contrast the idea of someone privileged versus someone who is in poverty or slum in this picture above. So such contrasting image create the idea of juxtaposition. Just because you compare ideas doesn't really make it a juxtaposition, but when they become contrasting, that is where it becomes a juxtaposition. And next we have allusion. Allusion basically refers to a well-known concept or event, such as someone speaking like Trump. So you get the idea. But China. I believe that you would know it very well. So, in this case, we are moving on to crafting an introduction with a thematic literary device. So the prompt is, technology is a double-edged sword. Do you agree? If I were you, I wouldn't really use double-edged sword because that would just be overused. So, in this case, let's take a look at a weak introduction where we talk about, well, answering your questions. So, technology is both beneficial and harmful. This essay will discuss its advantages and disadvantages, which is quite straightforward to see. So there is nothing fanciful about it. And well, if you want to show your spread of vocabulary or wide range of vocabulary, this wouldn't be it. Let's take a look at what we can use using metaphor. So we compare technology to wildfire, and when controlled, it brings warmth and progress, which is the positive side. And when unchecked, so you have some juxtaposition here where we talk about control versus unchecked, which is a form of lack of control. It ravages society. Very strong words. And if you're talking about technology or wildfire, the idea of ravaging comes from personification. So you have a personification over there where it ravages society, leaving destruction in its wake. The role of technology in modern society is delicate balance. So balance in this case has a concept that is referring to a previous idea of control versus unchecked. So the balance of both, and this idea will explore whether it is a boon or bane. Well, another one which is called alliteration. Right? So moving on, the idea that we need to maintain literary device throughout the essay is to create a recurring theme so that we can refer to the same idea or metaphor. If you look at the previous example, we are talking about wildfire. In the body paragraph, subtle. The keyword is subtle. Okay, so if you keep saying technology is a fire, technology is a fire, face of your examiner, then basically there is no subtlety. So we need to reinforce the theme in topic sentence. Example in the argument about technology danger, ideas such as fanning the flames or smoldering risk maintain consistency because they are words they are associated with. Last but not least, we craft a conclusion with a literary device. Well, we take a look at what is a weak conclusion. So we still answer question advantages and disadvantages, which is correspond to positive and negative effects accordingly. And society must be careful in using it, which is a form of balanced statement at the end. So a stronger statement would be to use the idea of fire again and link to it. So technology demands responsible stewardship, which means someone to take care of the fire like you. So when left unchecked, which is similar to the first paragraph, it can consume all its power, but when it harness of progress, which is another metaphor of sorts. So in this case, they also have this idea of unchecked, which is harness, being a master or word master arts. So it's a play on the word master where it can actually reverse the sentence structure. Next, let's take a look at another example. We take a look at social media. Social media is a very common topic, and the chances of it coming out is, well, pretty high, but maybe not in such a simpler form, but in a more sophisticated form. But we do need to know our social media. So it's talking about more of a boon than a bane. Do you agree? It's definitely an argumentative essay. So we're talking about a weak introduction. As on most things, there are two sides to an issue. Remember the double-edged sword, don't use it. Appreciate. So we're talking about social media is no different, can be both beneficial depending on how you use it. Slightly more sophisticated than the first paragraph that we given earlier, but still it's not very so popular if you wish to achieve a distinction in writing. So let's take a look at how we can use this. So we compare social media to a modern day town square. Town square is the idea where everyone gathers together to engage in marketing, to buy and sell, and a buzzing digital marketplace. So in this case, we're not talking about just any modern town square, but a digital place where voices echo across borders, ideas travel at the speed of light. So we're comparing words where we are town square that's matching, and as well as digital place with speed of light. Its dynamism and complexity connects people in powerful ways, but also posing obstacles to the well-beings and real-world issues. So we're talking about a point set. So what connects is probably one of the strengths, while obstacles is the one of the negative points. Next, we are maintaining the device throughout. We refer to the same metaphor or simply embodied paragraph. We reinforce the theme similarly, and we'll talk about ideas such as precious commodity, which is things that you buy and sell. So terms really related to the idea of buying and selling in a town square, which is talking about privacy in this case. So crafting a conclusion. So social media presents both opportunities and challenges, slightly stronger but not yet there, which the society must grapple with when using it. So in this case, in conclusion, social media is the ultimate modern day town square. We are talking about it in conclusion, but we refer back to the same concept where voices rise and ideas clash. So in this case, we are talking about something where we disagree. So it may actually be a place where ideas clash. It's a place where bridges may be burned and connections are made. So in this case, bridges are burned are definitely the negative areas where we are referring to, and connection refer to the positive area. And as we navigate this digital gathering place, we must strive with intention and integrity lest we lose ourselves. So in this case, we need to rewrite the introduction and conclusion for this question. Is ambition a strength or weakness? So think about it whether it's a discursive or an argumentative essay. So the recurring metaphor or simply